Well, hello there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play series. And um, I'm just glad you could join us today. So we got a couple projects figured out that we're going to do, and let's just get on with it today. All right, so we got a bunch of chests scattered everywhere. So if we look in this chest right here, we've got some materials gathered, and we're going to go ahead and grab most of these and take them down with us. I'm going to put my helmet back on, and as I'm heading down to our location, I'm gonna switch to a video, a clip of me showing you what we're gonna do here. All right, guys. As you can see, I've kind of drug you into a creative world here, and I wanted to show you what I've come up with for the spawning control panel for the room that we're going to be AFKing in down at the spawner. So check this thing out. I think maybe I've come up with something that will make the diorite look okay. These are my favorite colors, by the way. The cyan and the gray together look amazing, and somehow seems to work with this diorite. I mean, you guys can disagree with me if you want. But I think this looks pretty awesome. Let me know what you think. It's a pretty good build, I think. Kind of went with the minimalist, that minimal things that we need here for the design. So it's going to take about 76 cyan wool just to do the walls and the roof. And I didn't calculate the rest, but I think that's the biggest wool use. This is the cyan, so 76 for that, and then 1, 2, 3 plus 6. It should be 82, so a little over a stack. And then we won't need that much gray. Oh, we're gonna need one there too, so 83. And then we're gonna get bone blocks from the farm itself, and then we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 quartz stairs and 2 slabs. It's pretty reasonable. I really liked adding the lighting here. But I think in the actual farm I used a full block of wool here, but I think we're going to put glowstone under here and underneath this pad and put carpet on top just to make sure that the room is good and lit up. And I really may just use the carpet on the floor entirely because it'll stop any spawning. The only places that'll be spawnable will be the diorite, and with the light sources beside it, it shouldn't matter. So okay, we're gonna crack on gathering some materials for this, and get ready to build this thing. So we'll see you back in the Let's Play world. Alright guys, now that the time lapse is over, see just how wonderful this looks, and I really like it. I've done a couple things other than this time lapse showed. I added in our crusher levers here, and then I went behind and used some slime blocks and built this crusher for the spiders, so that if we decide we're leaving the area and we just want to kill them all off, we can just crush them and be on our way. And I've added this button in here, and it removes. There was a dispenser underneath here. Let's see if I can pull this wool up. Yeah. That way, if we ever get a buildup of baby zombies or chickens in the elevator for the zombies, we can just remove the water just like so, let them drop out, and they'll fall down into the lava that's down there. And at least I might have to double check. I'm not sure if I've put the lava down in there yet or not. I may go with a cactus, but there you go. So this project lacks two things yet, and one of them we're going to take care of today. I've got some sticky pistons here, and we need to craft up a redstone block, and I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do it yet, but for now I'm going to do the beginnings of it. I want to do at least one button to begin with. I'm going to put it out here because we've got plenty of room. I'm going to put buttons that will operate the lights to be on and off. Right now they're all on so that we're not getting any mob spawns. So I want to hook them all up together this episode and see if we can't get this thing going. Let's see, how do we want to do this? If we take this off, we want to be able to manually do it. Well, now they're going to spawn. So for now, let's take, did I get the lever? Let's take the lever and turn that on. Now, okay. Now we can manually do it just from this lever, and that should work. Yeah? Okay, that seems right. Alright, so we can connect our redstone. Can't do that. We can connect our redstone up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing this wrong, guys. I'd already had this planned out. We can connect our redstone up right here. And we're going to come around this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Need to snake up there. 11. Have any cobblestone. 12, 13, 15, 12, 13, 15, 17, 18, 19, 2. Alright, so we're going to need to add a... Alright, so we're going to need to add a repeater in here somewhere and add... I've put the lever back here so that those are off again. And so let's go ahead and add a repeater there. I think the easiest way to get to the spider one is to come off from there to this. Up. And okay, so there and there. Here. Lever. There, we can actually put this lever back on top. Okay, so this should all hook up if we power it all from here in the middle somewhere. Now, if we're going to use a control panel here, we could have 3 buttons. We could have 4. Let's see. There's could possibly come out. Manipulate this a little bit, but point is right now we have a button that turns them all on and all off. So right now they're all on. That back there just for purposes. Okay, that one can be off now. That one should be able to be turned off. Then we can come and press our button here. These should be depowered now. Let's check on the spiders. Make sure that the spiders are powered. So we should start to get mobs in the system. Already had some, yep, working just fine. So what I want to do with this is I would like to make this is just a rough design to show you what I wanted to do. This one's going to be strictly for turning on and off all the lights together. But what I'd like to do is put 4 buttons here. Okay, this one's going to turn them all on and all off. This one will turn them, turn the skeleton on. This one will turn the spider on. This one will turn the zombie on. And if I happen to hit this button and any of them are on, they'll all turn on. And then I hit it again. And even though I had, say, the zombie selected before I turned them all on, when I turn this one on, it'll turn them all off together. So that there's no mistaking of what happens there. And I'm going to work on that quite a bit off camera. And if we got time today in this episode, then I want to, then I'll build it in here. But I'm not really sure what kind of circuits I'm going to need for that. All basically T flip-flops. But this last one's going to have to be modified to fire them all if they're on. It's going to be kind of tricky, but we'll figure it out. So, alright guys, we'll get back with you. Alright guys, I have been hard at work here, and I've got some redstone stuff figured out. So let's go out here and check it out. I've got ourselves a little control panel going on here. And as you can see, we've got buttons for each spawner. We can have them all on, or one on, or 2 on, or whatever we want to do. Skeletons here, and top row is going to be our off buttons. Bottom row is going to be our on buttons. We got our master switch here that can turn them all off or all on. Let's say I've got just the zombie spawner on. Hit that button. I'll turn off. That's just a condition of the way I had to wire there, but it's alright. This one, they're all going to turn on. Of course, these indicate which ones are on. All off. And there we go. So let's go back here and check out the redstone. It's a little bit of a spaghetti mess, but I think I compacted it fairly well. So let me get my pick out, and I can break this block here and get a little view of here. All right, so always a mess. We may come back later and clean all this up and get rid of the cobblestone. I know the whole outside wall is going to change eventually, but all right, let's start with our try this again. Start with our master switch. Our bottom switch should turn everything on. Is fired. This is the block the button's on, and it fires here. For some reason, um, it didn't. I don't think it used to be this way, but I think since 1.10, like you hit the button there and try to fire dropper, and it just wasn't working right. So we moved it out, put a repeater, keep from activating this line, and we fire our dropper, which has an item in it, and it kind of just acts like a monostable. This is just basically a small monostable circuit. So we power it one time. It also keeps the line powered. Let's just do it that way. Put it that way. Um, we use the monostable because it'll keep the line powered basically. So we fire it in, it'll turn it off and on, off, and then on. We put the block up here to bring our signal down to a repeater, and we basically invert these torches. So when we fire the monostable, it lights these torches up, which fires all the droppers to all the lines, resetting them all. Firing the block from the bottom droppers to the top droppers. See, this is what we got here is basically a dropper. This one's facing up, that one's facing down, and it pretty much makes a very simplified, that's a better word, version of an RS NOR latch, which is amazing. And so each one of these, there's 3 sets of RS NOR latch dropper sets. The bottom's the only thing that has the comparator. And so we just take our comparator signal straight through this block here, and then we run it to the skeleton farm. Big deal there, pretty simple. That's our skeletons. And so I believe this is the zombie. We turn that into a torch tower, and we go straight up, and that's our line there. And I'm not sure, maybe I can get up there. Back there. And I just brought it across the farm this way. And I could have connected to this line and changed the tower, but I said, why not just drop it this way instead of doing all the extra changing? It's already set up. And so we drop it there with a descending torch tower into that line there, which runs underneath this block into that repeater. So we're also able to leave our manual switch on there as well. We have the very same setup for the spider farm. We run it this way, up and over the zombie chute. Actually use the block of the zombie chute there to bring it around. And bring our power from that block and into there. Of course, left our manual switch on, just like we have all of them. Fairly simple. And so let's come back over here. But we have these 2 sets of repeaters. When the farm is active, these torches in the torch tower will actually be turned on. We pulled our power from there to light them up so that look there, see our redstone lamps are right there in front, and we indirectly power them by powering through a block so that only one will come at a time. This right here is why we get a double click on this redstone lamp, because something funky going on. Like I tried to just run a line of redstone on top of these droppers, and only one would fire. So I've made up this line here And the reason I put a redstone lamp there is because I wanted to use this observer to compact the system or the circuit down a little bit. So we turn our reset line on. This is what this is. Our reset line gets switched, and because this redstone lamp will come on, which is a good indicator that you're turning everything off, okay, it observes the redstone lamp, which powers this block, and we take our signal through here. And instead of putting a repeater here, if we'd have been able to put a repeater here, we could have brought another torch tower up and just ran these lines straight out to the lamps. But the only way I could get that dropper to fire is to power this block, which fired that dropper. So I brought the signal around through this block. Look back here. This block's powered, which powers that dust, which powers the block, which we pull the signal out of the block with this repeater, and we fire the dropper underneath this block with this block, leaving our one dropper that would fire here fired by this dust. I don't know what was going on, but I found a solution and made it work. So a stair there was required because every time this dust would activate, it would put power to that block, which would power the redstone lamp, which would power the observer and make a clock. So there you go. And now I'm considering, can I do this better? Can I take my power from there like so? And I believe I can. I think that will actually work. Um, so that's the redstone, and not entirely complicated, but not simple either. I guess we'll go around the long way. Still go out this way. Back. Now let's turn them all on. They all came on. Let's turn it back off. Perfect. That fixed that problem. All right. So there you go. There's the system. It's been a little bit of a headache, but you know, with all redstone, I feel pretty much accomplished now. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know, but that's not too bad of a system there. It's all, as far as our control panel is concerned, it's all 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. That's not bad. That's not bad for having 1, 2, 3 RS NOR latches, a monostable circuit, and then that reset line that we had. So I'm pretty happy with that. And of course, we put our enchantment table over here, and we're going to decorate the walls and stuff, but we're not going to do that today. We're actually going to run up back to the base and to our starter house, and we're going to check out a few things that I've done up there. And I recorded a clip of me enchanting this as well as my axe, anyways, we upgraded some equipment, so we're going to show you that clip and wrap up the episode, and I'll see you back up at the top. See you later. Alright guys, as you can see, we got 72 levels here, and from the AFK Fish Farm, I've gathered up a couple books, and I enchanted this diamond pickaxe here and only got efficiency 4 on it, so I'm going to add Unbreaking 3 and Amending Silk Touch and efficiency 4 to make it a 5, and I'm going to add Mending and Silk Touch to our axe. That way if we come across mushrooms or bookshelves, we can use that. And so we got 72 levels. So let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna figure out which, that's gonna be 5. We're gonna figure out which one's gonna be the highest enchant level. And you always go from high to low. That way it doesn't become too expensive. So we had it right, yeah. I had them in the right order. So efficiency 5 now. Silk touch. Yep. And skip the mending. Put the unbreaking 3 on. Now it's 6. Mending. So that took us from 72 levels to 47. So 30 levels for this pick, which I enchanted it at 30. So really we've got somewhere around 60 levels in this thing. Pretty close. But that's okay. We've got a good source of XP now. And so now onto the axe. Axe in, and I believe the silk touch is going to be more. Yep, 16. Let's see what the mending is. It's 12. So yeah, let's put the silk touch on first. And then we'll place the mending. And I'm going to put a name on this. I should have named the pickaxe. We'll see how many levels we have left. We got 31 at the moment. So I like to call my axe here the Baconator. That's fine. We need to name this pick too, and it'll be our moneymaker. And we still only have efficiency 4 on it. We need to bump it up and name it. So we got a Lucky Charminator, and we have the Baconator, and this will be the Smooth Talker, and that'll be the Moneymaker. So we're on our way to getting geared up, guys. You know, this is episode 11. I think we're doing pretty good. Still wearing iron armor, but that's okay. So, all right, guys. Well, guys, before we get out of here, I wanted to show you a couple things. First thing is that we made this portal to have an on and off switch, and the way this works is that behind here we have redstone dust on top of an observer. This dust will fire this piston. This dispenser, and the observer fires another dust underneath it, and underneath it, it's fired into a block, which fires the dropper again, giving you a dual edge setup. And then you've got this button here, which fires that piston that has a redstone block on it, and that's the system in complete. There we go. That was a lot of lag. And it kind of looks like my blocks went through the portal, so I'll fix that in a bit. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was down here, I added trench going around to the back side here, and I've taken one of our non-stackable filters and made it a filter for fish. And then I added this overflow dropper here for when we get too many items in the system, and it'll void it down into a cactus, which is underneath. Just an automatic trash can there, nothing too fancy. But I think that's all the new stuff for today. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. And we just thank you for joining me today. This is I Kill You here, signing off. Bye bye.